Hello everyone, welcome to the Chicago Club travel show and entertainment show. I'm Dorothy Pacella and I'm your host for these shows, and we're delighted that you could join us. Did you know the Chicago Club is the largest club in the village with over 700 members? Did you know that we're over 40 years old? Did you know you don't have to be from Chicago to join the Chicago Club, even though I'm from Chicago? And did you know we're the friendly club? We really are. But there's a lot more to the Chicago Club than just travel. I know many of you enjoyed our shows every month, but there's a lot more to us than just travel, a lot more than a pretty face. We're having fun, and we absolutely do monthly events at Clubhouse 5. We have great musical entertainment acts that you would absolutely love. We have every now and then we add a comedian to make you laugh. So we're at Clubhouse 5 every month, the second Thursday at 7 p.m. And we welcome all, even non-members are welcome. And I'm sure you're going to enjoy our complimentary desserts, as well as along with the GRF cash bar. But as many of you know, we travel. And the Chicago Club offers monthly day bus trips to all over Southern California. They're wildly popular, and we're quite famous for them. So we enjoy doing our trips. We even enjoy our daily, that we piqued your interest. We have some coming attractions for all the events that we're going to be doing in Clubhouse 5. I think you're really going to like it. It's going to make you want to sing. It's going to make you want to laugh, and hopefully it will make you want to get on a bus. So sit back, get comfortable, and enjoy the show.
It's been a hard day's night. I should be sleeping like a log. But when I get home to you, I find the things that you do will make me feel alright. You know I work all day to get your money to buy your things, and it's worth it just to hear you say you're gonna give me everything. So I am where should I know? 'Cause when I get you alone, you know she loves you, yeah, 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 yeah. I wanna hold your hand. I know that I just need your light, I've never done before. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down, and I do appreciate your being around.
Do you want to hear one more? To my surprise. Listen. Come on, people. Don't leave me hanging. Come on, what? Let me hear you sing one time. I heard somebody say, oh, will you look at the freaking white people.
The whole town, we all had to go on a diet too, the whole wedding party. So I went on the Herbalife. You know the Herbalife? Great diet. I just smoked one in the parking lot.
Here we go. Tears when the rain scare you by. be sure you know when I'm better, more than I could chew. But who we know?
The Chicago Club is going on one of its trips. The bus just got here.
Joshua Tree National Park. The strange Joshua Tree. As fanciful as something out of fiction. The high elevation of the Mojave Desert creates a special habitat. Joshua Tree National Park. Together with the Colorado Desert and southeastern California, two seemingly unwelcoming ecosystems combine to create the almost 800,000 acres of the park.
Showcase House of Design should have had 25,000 ticket holders walk through its doors by now, but COVID-19 shut it down. Showcase 2020 is online only for visitors. The benefit chair promises that fans of design will get a lot from the experience. Till now, this annual event attracted patrons primarily from Southern California, but the virtual audience can come from worldwide. Built in 1937 for $30,000 for Edmund Locke Jr., it was designed by Gerard Colcord, a USC grad known as Hollywood's society architect. Over the years, the volunteers have attracted crowds to 55 showcase houses, raising a total of more than $23 million in gifts and grants for music and the arts.
Welcome to the Chicago Club Travel Show. I'm Dorothy Pacella, and we have a great day planned for you as we go on our next bus trip. It's February, and it rained overnight. We had to record the rain. No idea when we're going to see it again, but the sun came out for boarding, so we're so delighted. So the bus is just pulling in. He's even early today. So we're very excited, and we're so glad you've decided to join us today on TV6. So now we're going to have a word with Bill. Part of our destination for our trip today is the Nixon Library in Yorba Linda. And look what Bill brought. Oh my goodness. Tell us the story, Bill.
Okay, so when I was in 5th grade, Richard Nixon ran against John F. Kennedy. And we had a vote in my 5th grade class. And as you know, and Nixon won that vote, although he lost the election, much to the chagrin of my parents. So the next day when I went back to school, I wrote a letter to President Nixon saying, Vice President Nixon, you won in our class election. I think you would have made a very good president. Little did I know, he got the letter, wrote back to me, Dear Billy, he says it's important that young people take an active role in their citizenship. So I have a signed copy of this letter from the office of the Vice President, and there's Richard Milhouse Nixon, signed to Mr. Billy Hoffman. Little does Richard Nixon know that I would now become a tour guide for the Chicago Club. But I'm going to sell this to the Nixon Museum for thousands of dollars. Okay. Good morning, Chicago Club. We're having another fun adventure today. We're doing a tour called The Best of Inland Orange County. We're going to the Nixon Presidential Library. The Nixon Library is one of the 2 National Historic Landmarks in Orange County. That's the highest designation a building or site can get from the federal government. The other one, by the way, is called Arden. It's the country home of Helen Majeska, the Polish opera singer, and we should take a trip there eventually. For lunch, we're going to the Packing House. The Packing House is, I think, the best thing going in Anaheim. It's a 1921 citrus factory that was gutted and converted into a food hall. There's 21 restaurants and a speakeasy if anybody can find it. So food halls are the trend, and this place is so much fun. It's a Mission Revival building. Then we're going to the Hilbert Museum of California Art. It's right by the Circle in Orange. It's a free museum run by Chapman University. The paintings are quite nostalgic, a lot of watercolors and oils of early 20th century California. Really beautiful, and they're expanding that museum. Then we're taking a historic bus tour. We're going to go to the mid-century modern homes of Joseph Eichler, the most famous developer of mid-century modern homes in the San Francisco Bay Area. He also built 3 districts in Orange, and they designated them as historic districts. Following that, we're going to go to Santa Ana to Floral Park, a beautiful neighborhood of the 1920s, and then we're going to go to downtown Santa Ana, the county seat of Orange County. Pretty fun, huh, Dorothy?
Pretty full. We better get on the bus.
Yeah,
It's
that's
time
right.
to leave. See you on the bus. Bye-bye.
See you later, guys. Gate exhibit, and they made changes. They looked at the Vietnam War exhibit, and they made changes to reflect what is believed to be what actually happened in those events. Although history is not a perfect science, as you know. But I think you'll find that really interesting when you go to that library to look at that. The Reagan Library is, to my knowledge, about to be assessed by the National Archives as well. So I think that's an interesting part of history. There's only one other National Historic Landmark in Orange County, and it's associated with a Polish opera singer, Helen Majeska. Her home in the what canyon is that? Santiago Canyon? Her home is called Arden, and it was declared a National Historic Landmark. Now, LA has a bunch of National Historic Landmarks, including the Bradbury Building, including Little Tokyo Historic District. Okay, and I want to introduce those of you who don't know Dave. Dave is my best friend from college. He helps me on the tour. Say good morning, Dave.
Good morning.
Dave's a little bit annoying, but you'll get to like him. And also, he grew up in La Mirada, but he worked in Orange County's most famous landmark. What was it, Dave?
The Tragic Kingdom, Disneyland.
Yes. So he's going to tell us stories of being underpaid at the Tragic Kingdom. So our bus driver is Nathan. Are we ready to go?
Yeah. We need to go.
Yeah.
Where?
Okay, Nathan.
I was in the French market.
Dave worked at the French market. Okay, but guys, your first quiz is going to be Orange County factoids. If you want to win the prize, we're going to do that at first, and I'm going to talk about the tour. Nathan, do you want to say anything to the group? Okay, let me introduce your bus driver, Nathan. Yeah, we do.
Good morning, everyone. How you doing?
Good.
You guys ready for an exciting trip tour?
Yep.
Yes?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm Nate. I'll be your bus driver for the entire day, so I hope you guys enjoy yourself.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We need to go before this last person shows up.
I know.
Okay.
Okay.
We're heading to the. I'm not going to talk about Disneyland right now. Maybe I'll talk about it later. And Kat's probably going to talk about Disneyland. She has stories there as well. What I think is a funny story about Richard Nixon. And there's no intent here for a political slant one way or another. It's a fact. I think many of you may not be from around the area, but there's a somewhat of an exclusive private country club on Crown Valley Parkway, not too far from Pacific Coast Highway, called El Miguel Country Club. My father-in-law was one of the founding members of El Miguel Country Club, a longtime, diehard Republican, major donor to the party. He had plaques on the wall from Ronald Reagan and from Richard Nixon, thanking him for his donations and things over the years. So, I think most of you know that Nixon's Western White House was in San Clemente, just right down the road, about another 10 or 15 minutes from the El Miguel Country Club. Well, after Nixon left office, he moved back out west. He in fact, moved to his Western White House. And at the time, his daughter Julie and son-in-law David Eisenhower, grandson of our former president, were members of El Miguel. In fact, one day I was playing golf with my father-in-law and mother-in-law, and they were in a foursome right behind us. I got to actually meet them. It was kind of cool. But anyway, they sponsored Julie's dad, former President Nixon, for membership at El Miguel. So at the time, my father-in-law was president of the board, and he and all of his Republican board members got together and they said, no way are we going to allow this guy to become a member. They were so ashamed that he had to resign in disgrace. They blocked his membership at El Miguel, and he could never join. So I actually thought that was kind of funny, but some people don't. But anyway, there you go. And now you know the rest of the story.
So where's
El Miguel is on the coast, Crown Valley Parkway, just south of here, actually, along Crown Valley Parkway. Beautiful country club.
So if you're driving south on Coast Highway and you hit Crown Valley, hang a left, obviously, because you can't go right, and you go down maybe a mile and a half, 2 miles to the right-hand side. Yep.
Okay, guys, I want to talk about today's trip. We got an action. The Chicago Club always has an action-packed day, doesn't it?
Yep.
I'd say the Chicago Club knows how to have fun. So we're going to have 2 hours at the Nixon Library. For some of you, that's going to be too much. For some of you, it's going to be too little. But for most of us, it's going to be perfect. Then we're going to go to the Anaheim Packing District. Who has never been there? Oh, you're going to love it. It is the best thing in Anaheim. It is a 1921 citrus packing house. A developer came in and gutted it and put in 21 restaurants. So when you walk into the packing house, you're going to blow your mind. You're going to look up and you're going to think you're going to see lemons falling from the ceiling. But what I want you guys to do, don't pick the first place to eat. Walk around, because there's 21 choices. There's Vietnamese food, Indian food, Mexican food, Southern food. There's a ton of food. So I think what you should do is you should walk around and just enjoy it and then decide. There's even a grilled cheese sandwich place. But some people go there and just eat ice cream and sweets. There's a bunch of ice cream there as well. So I think you'll enjoy the packing district. It's really a great place. And then we're going to go to the Hilbert Museum. Who has not been to the Hilbert? It is fantastic. It is a museum opened up by Chapman College. It is paintings, California scene paintings from the 20th century. They are beautiful watercolors and oils of early Los Angeles, early San Francisco, and California. There's also Disneyland animated comics, the original ones that were painted. It's a small museum though. For that reason, it's very small. You're only going to need 30 minutes, 35 minutes. But enjoy it. I think you'll like it a lot. Then we're gonna do a bus tour of the historic districts of Orange County. You know, Orange County is a young county compared to LA. Orange County broke away from LA in 1880, and Santa Ana became the county seat, and they built the old courthouse in 1902. So we're gonna go to the Joseph Eichler mid-century modern homes first in Orange. They're great. I'll talk about him later. There are 3 Eichler neighborhoods in Orange, but he built 11,000 homes throughout the Bay Area. Then I'm gonna talk about him. I think he was a great guy for lots of reasons. Number 2, we're gonna go to Floral Park in Santa Ana. It's a beautiful 1920s neighborhood with Tudor revival and storybook architecture. And I think you'll enjoy that bus tour. So just sit. It's a beautiful day, isn't it, before it starts snowing? That's tonight, I'm sorry. And then we're going to go to Santa Ana, which has some of the oldest and biggest commercial architecture, historic architecture, but there's a problem. They're tearing up Santa Ana. Anybody know why?
Trolley.
They're building the Orange County Trolley.
What street?
It's on 4th Street, which is the main drag. So it's going to start at the Santa Ana Courthouse, no, excuse me, the Santa Ana train station, and it goes west to Garden Grove. I don't know where the trolley stops, but I think it's cool that they have a trolley. I hope people use it. The light rail in LA is somewhat popular, but I think we should give people choices. So, pretty exciting, huh? We got 2 museums, the packing district, and 3 historic districts. What more can we do? Oh, and by the way, Dorothy and Carmen are going to host a post-party with tequila shooters. Just to let you know. At their house. They're actually tequila jello shooters. So guys, in 20 minutes, I'm going to go over the answers to the Orange County factoids, and I will award my first prize. Any questions about the tour? All right, let's have fun today, guys.
Hello, everyone. Well, we've made it to our first destination. We're in Yorba Linda at the Richard Nixon Library, and it's going to be a special day. We won't be able to film totally inside, but when we're outside, and we'll introduce you to some, be able to do that. And there's plenty of things to see here, even though we won't be in the library. So get ready. Hoffy's getting our tickets, and we're ready to go.
In the house. Only Richard was born in the house. Okay, and the boys are Harold, who was here before they moved here. He was on this earth. He was born before. Came here with his parents when they bought the property to come here to grow citrus. Next boy is Richard. And by the way, Harold died of tuberculosis at age 23. The next boy is Richard, the middle one is Don, and then the next one is Arthur. And Arthur also died early, but even earlier, died at age 7. Okay, of encephalitis. He did, you'll hear him. He's pretty good. I mean, he's not a professional concert pianist, but quite acceptable for a public performance. Yeah, definitely. Okay, as you walk by into the kitchen, what you're going to see over there is a bathroom. I just want to tell you that when the house was built, no running water. They finally, well, in the 10 years they were here, they got running water, and Frank converted what was a bedroom into a bathroom, finally. Okay. Before that, outbuildings, outhouses, etc. Yeah. We're backing up. It's great to see you all. Okay. Please, I do need to move. Remember, you guys have some free time. You can come back here and you can spend more time. There'll be some years. Okay. I told you that everything was original except for a few things. Here's the advertising. This stove and in the corner there's an icebox. They are not the ones that belong to the Nixons. But when we got the house, okay, we had to. It was in the 1970s. Nobody was putting on a stove. Everything was in the 1970s. And so the modern appliances, and in the restoration of the house, we had to search for $40,000.
Great silent story. I ask for your support. Let us be united. Let us also be united against defeat.
She's posing for you with her ice cream. There you go. All right, I love it.
This is so Orange was incorporated in the 1880s. By the way, this post office building was funded by WPA money during the Depression, Works Progress Administration. It doesn't have the beautiful murals that some of the post office have, but it is nevertheless indicative of the WPA projects. On the left, to my left at the corner, you can see a little placard. That's where the red line, the Pacific Electric trolley ran through, and it had a depot right here in Orange. boy, so many restaurants are opening up in this town. Now, on the left is a Lebanese place where Luis Perez asked me for my daughter's hand. And I said, yes, right here. It's got a plaque. Biblos Cafe. So here's the beautiful plaza. What happened was 2 lawyers named Glassell and Chapman bought the land. It was agricultural. They hired a surveyor and they said, put a plaza in. And look what they did. They put in this beautiful circle. And the Women's Temperance Society bought the fountain. See the fountain there? It was bought by the Women's Temperance Society. Here's the old Wells Fargo. It used to be the earliest bank in Orange. Here's Watson's Soda Fountain. It's a really popular place. This is where I start my walking tours, right there on the corner. There's an Art Deco building on the left. So, the story of Orange is very interesting. It started out as an agricultural town. Then the railroad came in. It started to boom. And then they started, of course, it's more financially feasible to build houses than oranges. So what they did was they built a downtown before the car. Everybody thought it was great. But then they opened up the malls in the 50s and 60s. Orange started to decay. Downtown Orange wasn't very exciting. But the people of Orange said, wait a minute, we've got some beautiful buildings here. We have buildings that were built before the car. So they got together and they declared it a historic district. So they were the only town in Orange County that really preserved their downtown. And they put the parking lots in back of the store so that you don't want a parking lot on the street. It's ugly for the pedestrian. So it was the people of Orange who saved their town. And now they have California's largest historic district. It encompasses about 900 homes all the way around the circle. And it's been declared a National Register Historic District. So I think you'd agree, it's really Orange County's best downtown. It's walkable, there's a lot of beautiful brick buildings, there's a lot of great restaurants. So there's 2 historic districts, the plaza itself and the residential area around it. And Chapman College used to be the oldest high school in Orange County. I forgot what the name of it was, and now it's Chapman University. But we're going to see something special today. We're going to see the newest historic district in Orange. And believe it or not, the homes were built in the 1960s. So there's a group called Preserve Orange County. And it's founded by a group of preservationists, and they believe Orange County has some things worth preserving. You know, LA has 41 historic districts and over 5,000 historic landmarks. So the city of Orange realized they had Joseph Eichler neighborhoods. Joseph Eichler was a developer. He grew up back east. He became a developer, moved out to San Francisco. He lived in a Frank Lloyd Wright home as a child, and he became very interested in historic architecture. So he became a major developer, and he built 11,000 homes in the San Francisco Bay Area. He only built 4 neighborhoods in Southern California. 3 of them are in Orange, and we're going to see one of them. We're going to see the Fairhaven neighborhood of mid-century modern architecture. So the city of Orange is very proud of it. They declared these 3 in 2008. So Orange County is slowly but surely preserving its architectural heritage. Of course, we have Mission San Juan Capistrano. We have downtown Orange. Now we have the Eichlers, and we have Santa Ana has several beautiful historic districts. Another thing I like about Joseph Eichler was he was Jewish, and he experienced discrimination as a teenager. When he joined the Home Builders Association in the 50s and 60s, the home builders wanted restrictive covenants. You probably know what those are. Those are discriminatory deeds which run with a property that prohibited minorities from living in certain neighborhoods. They prohibited blacks, Asians, Jews, and Hispanics from living in certain neighborhoods. Joseph Eichler went to the National Home Builders and said, if you want my services, you're going to get rid of the restrictive covenants. and he quit the association and he began building on his own. And he opened up his neighborhoods to everyone. So I think was he not only a great builder, he was a great man. Joseph Eichler, you should read about him, and I hope you like his homes.
Where's the fourth?
From the 60s and 70s. Hess has an entire book on ranch-style homes. Single story and kind of flat.
Didn't they used to call them Cinderella homes?
Cinderella homes are more like medieval, steeply pitched gables like that right there, but steeper. We're going to see some storybook homes on our next, after we leave Orange.
Oh, okay.
So these people, if they keep their house up, they can get a tax break using a law called the Mills Act. And these homes are over 60 to 70 years old.
So can we start using that soon?
Yeah, Laguna Woods can. So let's look at this house on the right. You can see it's got a breezeway in the middle. It's got a shallow roof with the rafters. Notice there's a lot of stone. Usually the windows, the doors are multicolored. Very flat roofs, very modern looking. The one on the left, you can see is quite similar. It has a breezeway.
Oh, yeah.
Eichler wanted to build homes that the middle class could afford. Here's another one on the corner. Some don't have garages, they have breezeways.
Yeah, that's very neat.
Here's one, I like the color of the eaves, the orange color. So you can see this has a gable roof, meaning it comes up to a point, and it has, see when you walk in, there's a breezeway. When you open up that door, you're actually in a patio. You're not inside the house. Just like Palm Springs, it's very much an indoor-outdoor flow. Now you have to admit there's no modern intrusions. It's all mid-century. I haven't seen any remodels yet. There's a beautiful one on the left.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably, Change to it.
The word clerestory windows means the windows are at the top of the wall. You can see the windows are way up at the top. That was a typical sign of the mid-century look. You can see there's more and more of them just looking down the street. So what do you think of the look, everybody? It's definitely clean lines and modern. Notice the rafters. That's one thing he liked. He liked exposing the rafters. You can see as you look down to your right.
I like the breezeways.
Yeah, I think the breezeways are a really good feature, especially in our hot climate. These are usually 2-bedroom. They're small. You know, once it becomes a historic district, it becomes more expensive. Look at this pink one.
Or BMW and Mercedes in there, you know it's not cheap.
I like some of the landscaping.
Yeah.
I think that's very important in a mid-century home. I bet you they're $1 million bucks. Look at this one on the right.
Yeah. I think they are, yeah.
Here's one with a flat roof. Now, what if you lived here, but your house wasn't mid-century modern? Would the city force you to tear it down? Of course not, because you were built before it became a district. But if you wanted to remodel it, you would have to make it look more mid-century. Look at I love that one. Do you guys agree there's a big concentration? To be a district, you have to have a big concentration. I would say 90% of these homes are mid-century, wouldn't you?
Oh, Oh, yeah.
There's no Tudors or Spanish in this neighborhood.
Well, were they built by one builder?
They were built by one builder, which explains the design.
Because I'm seeing like two different.
They also call it post and beam construction, meaning the beam comes to the top and it's full glass.
What's supposed to be?
Post and beam means it goes from the floor to the ceiling, holding up the roof. I wonder if energy-wise they're not that efficient though. Maybe they don't have a lot of insulation if they have so much glass.
It's a forged thick fiber roof.
Yeah, it's a what?
It's a forged thick fiber roof with a
Okay.
light on the bottom side and
Yeah.
put the roof on top.
Oh, okay. So is that kind of energy efficient?
For that time, not for now.
Yeah. So that's one of the three ivory and bungalow on the left. Orange is kind of like the Claremont of Orange County. Look at that Victorian on the right. Look at this Craftsman bungalow on your right. Beautiful. Looks like the Green and Green designed it. Look at the double gabled on the right with a Victorian garage in the back. Some of these date to 1880.
When they first incorporated.
So the word Victorian refers to a building that was built during the time of Queen Victoria, which means anything before 1900. Here's a turquoise Victorian on the right. Look at this baby. Now, why do you think the city doesn't want every homeowner to apply for the Mills Act property tax reduction? They're going to lose. So on the left is a little Tudor revival. See the one on the left, and then here's another Tudor. Yeah, look at the half timbering in blue. There's a double gable. Oh, that's kind of a storybook Tudor. Beautiful. And look at the little Spanish colonials on the right. And then there's an American colonial on the left. Yeah, and there's another Spanish colonial. Here's a Georgian style with a fan light above the door. These are beautiful homes, aren't they? Here's another Tudor. Oh, slow down here. This is called neoclassical because of the large portico with the columns. I think it's a little pretentious, but it was popular in the 20s.
Yeah, it doesn't fit in.
Yeah. I think if you have a lot of money, you want to put in a column. Sorry. Here's an American colonial without a fan light above the door. Ooh, look at this one on the left. With the shuttered windows and the fan light above the door. That's a beauty. Ooh, and I love this cream-colored Spanish colonial on the right.
That's kind of wild looking. That's very simple.
Here's a cute little Spanish colonial. They're all over Los Angeles. So wouldn't you say that the Tudor style with the steeply pitched roofs was very popular in the 1920s? Here's a beautiful Spanish colonial. Oh yeah, some of them have an archway where you pull your car through the archway. Now, the district goes on the other side of this street, Santa Clara, but we can't fit the bus there. But the part we're going to see is outstanding. Look at this beautiful garden on the right. And I love the mature oak trees. Now, have we seen a ranch-style home squeezed in here? Make a left here if you would. On your right is a nice craftsman bungalow with sort of a bay window. This is a gorgeous street, isn't it? So what do you think? Is it worthy of becoming a historic district? I think it's got a good concentration, and guess what? They applied. They applied to become a National Register Historic District, Dorothy. I don't know what the status is. Look at this little storybook home on the right. Storybook means a small Tudor revival with steeply pitched roofs. Now, do you think they should control the color, or is green fun? Look at your left, to the left. I think green's fun. Let's go with it. Don't be uptight. Unless you're the neighbor, that's right. Unless you're Kermit the Frog. Look at this unique window with it looks almost Gothic with a pointed window. Oh, this on the right. Whoops, sorry about that. This is almost Frank Lloyd Wright with a horizontal emphasis, the green one. Almost prairie style. Look at this American colonial style on the left with the 3 dormer windows. Could you live in any of these? Oh, look at this formal looking Georgian style on the left. I like the green and the yellow. Oh, on the left, the pink one is Pueblo style. Look at the log sticking out. That is Pueblo. That is Southwestern style. I salute them. They even did it over the garage. Oh, look at this roof. That is almost French. That's a French-style mansard roof. I salute them. Oh, look at the purple shutters. And it's got a double-pitched roof. I think that's fun. Why not? And this is called Banana Republic Revival on our left. It's covering up the architecture. Kindly make it right, Nathan. Right is a Mediterranean Romanesque style. These are pretty nice homes.
Victoria's the other way.
Oh, it is? Uh-oh. Here's the only ranch-style house on the right that I've seen in the neighborhood. Look at this amazing sycamore tree. That sycamore tree is probably more than 100 years old. There's a beautiful Spanish colonial on the right. Yeah, there's another ranch-style home. So what happened was they never declared it a historic district, so you could come in and tear down one of the older homes and put up a ranch style. But once it becomes a historic district, that won't be possible. Here's a little subtle American colonial on the left. This one has a more modern feeling. Almost, look at the glass brick. It's really streamlined. Look at the round windows. That's streamlined modern from the 30s. This is a very diverse. Sorry about this, Nathan. We're kind of scraping.
What's scraping?
We're the oak trees.
Oh. Well, that's what's making it now?
Yep.
So we're going to make a left and then a left and go back to Broadway and south. Yeah, this particular street has a lot of ranch style. But this blue one on the right is not boring. Look at the fan light above the door. See the fan light? That is typical in classical. Look at straight ahead a little to your left as we go by. This looks like we're in Savannah, Georgia. Look at this thing. Wow. It's Greek Revival Royale. It's got a balustrade, which is the little fence at the top. It's got a portico. Look at this Tudor. Yeah, thank you, Dorothy. You saved my bacon. Look at this Tudor on the left with the Elizabethan window. Ooh. Okay. Ooh. Look at you guys. What's this one on the left? Yes, it's tiki style. It's Polynesian. Look at Polynesian Revival. I love it. That one is a little modern, but it's got some nice elements. Mansard roof is steeply pitched and it's got dormer windows. And here's a very large, look at the portico he's pulling into. He's pulling under the portico, and that's called Monterey style because of the second story balcony. That's Monterey style if it has a second story balcony. Here's a ranch style home. I don't know what to say about this one. Elizabethan modern, how about it on the right? By the way, if you don't know the style, just fake it. Laguna Woods Revival. Here is Canopy Revival on the left. Yeah. This one's very unique. Look at the brick archway over the door. That's almost Frank Lloyd Wright, but it has Tudor features with a half timbering.
So you can see too. So I can see, you can see.
Oh, on your left is one of the best examples of American colonial. Look at the portico with the columns, with the Greek columns, and look at the shuttered windows with the small panes. That's classic American colonial. And then this one on the left, this is a colonial with a neoclassical portico. Look at that portico. Man alive. I feel like I'm going to law school if I went in there. Here's a Cape Cod colonial. Look at this baby with a red, I love the red door.
Yeah, it's beautiful. With that real dark blue and the red.
And here's another neoclassical portico on a colonial building. And but there's the beautiful Orange County Courthouse. Sadly, they had an accident here when they were opening up the courthouse. A parachutist fell to his death during the celebration. Okay, we're coming upon where my son-in-law has his restaurant, Lola Gaspar. It's in the beautiful Santora building. Now look to your left, everybody. Yes, look at this. Look what they're doing to 4th Street. They're putting in the new trolley. They're putting in the Orange County trolley. That's why we can't go down 4th Street unless we were a gopher.
But that's what all these new groups have, 4th Street Market.
Yes, the 4th Street Market is great. So if you could go a little slow here, right when you get to the crosswalk, Nathan, you're doing great. Right at the crosswalk, if you can just go a little slower. This is the beautiful Santora building from 1920, Spanish colonial. Look at this beautiful plaza. This promenade is where that's where Lola Gaspar is, just to the left, where my son-in-law worked for 18 years. They just sold it, and he's going to be the consulting chef. So that's a beautiful architectural, this beautiful public space there. And that's where they have Art Walk, the last Saturday of the month.
That's our show for today. We hope you enjoyed it. Check our website for all the details of the great shows, the great trips. And when you realize that membership only costs $30 for the entire year, it is the best deal in the village. $30 gets you into all the events. And then it gets you a discount on our day trips. Who does that? We do. Take care. Bye-bye. See you next time.